Before signing off, we want to revisit a special fight from last week, and that was Dana White's Contender series. One of the best MMA fights that I've seen, and that was Adrian Martinetti versus Mark Vologdin. Now, this show, we always talk about a fight isn't a fight until there's something to overcome, until there's resistance. This was the definition of a fight. This was the definition of what fighters are. We talk about it all the time. The will, the heart, the determination, the resilience. This fight had it all, bud. Just want to get your thoughts on these two warriors.
Unbelievable. Wow. So much. I want to put, I feel like I'm in that position of having 10 pounds of stuff and I got to put it in a 5-pound bag. Like, how do I do this? Because it's that much stuff and it's that good and it's that special. And both these guys deserve a whole show. But we can't give them a whole show. I just hope I can do in a few minutes justice, really, for the people that haven't seen this and the people that have seen it. But especially for the ones who haven't seen it. The first thing I say is it invokes the thought of when people say you got to be hungry. Really, the simplest phrase in the world. Oh, you got to be hungry. You can't be a guy that's already made a lot of money because it changes to whatever. But, man, this fits to that. Because, as you said, this was their chance to go to the big leagues. They were hungry. This is their chance to get caught up. You win, you get caught up. And it showed the way they fought. And I've often said this. It's in our genes. It's in our blood. It's part of humanity. It really is. If you go back to our history of being, of when we first came to this, when we first started walking on this planet, we were walking crooked, a little crooked and a little hairier. And crooked. And we started to slowly straighten up. But what was it all about? It never leaves us. It never leaves us. From the Genesis, from the very beginning. 4 words. Conquer or be conquered. Otherwise, we didn't exist. We didn't get to the next day. Conquer or be conquered. These two guys, they brought us back to our beginning, to our roots, to our bloodlines, to something that never leaves us. We wouldn't be here today if we didn't have that. Yeah, we've become more civilized, I hope. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I look at the world out there and I say, oh my God, for every 3 steps forward, we went back 2 steps. Like, what are we doing? But, in truth, what has allowed us to stay here and overcome the things that we've overcome, and we've overcome a lot as a species. And we have a lot still to overcome in a lot of different ways now, different challenges. But the one thing that has allowed us to remain, as people say, the dinosaurs are gone, all the bigger, stronger, beasts on this planet are all gone. We're not. Because we always had that understanding. Conquer or be conquered. And we refuse to be conquered as a species. And they showed that. And that's extraordinary. They showed that. They just refused to be conquered. Refused. Whoever made up that phrase, that they coined the phrase that this sport is the blood and guts, when they would say to describe a fight, they had to have these 2 men in mind. Because that's all it was. That's everything it was. Conquer or be conquered. And they both refused to be conquered. And in the end, they weren't. Because their wills were that strong, that forged in the fire. And Dana White, the head of the UFC, who's done a brilliant job developing this brand, building this brand, he understood that. He understood that. He would not let them be conquered because he gave a contract to both. And rightfully so. To both! Because only one was supposed to get it. Yeah, conquer or be conquered. We ain't being conquered. And they reminded us of that. We ain't being conquered.
Beautifully said. Those words were great. Well deserved for both of those two warriors. And as you said, and great job by Dana White, there was no loser, that's for sure. Dana had to go sign Vologdin, because if he didn't, somebody was gonna. I wish I could sign that guy for something, just to have him in my corner. Unbelievable. I mean, you talk about never saying no and not giving an inch or backing up. I never seen a man take so many knees to the body as viciously as he did. And just, I'll take more, whatever it takes. I will not give in. Incredible.
Yeah, listen, I'm not knocking anyone here, but the great Bo Nichols, the great wrestler, right? And he was being projected as being one of the greats, and he was on that path. He was on that path, and then he fought Ritter. You know, more experienced guy, big guy, more experienced, but that was his fight. That was the one. And Ritter took him out with the knees to the body. Just what you're talking about, you know. And Bo Nichols will have his moment to come back. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. But these two guys, that's the key. They were hungry. They weren't that guy. And I'm not taking nothing away from, I swear to you, I'm not. Bo Nichols great. But I'm just making a point here. They didn't have that. They never had their moment. This was their moment. They were never going to have another moment. Never. Bo Nichols will get another moment, and he'll make the most of it, I'm sure. But these guys knew, no, one and done. This is the moment. There ain't no other moment. Where we come from, no, there ain't no other moment. And that's why they behaved that way. They had no choice.